Those odds are outstanding.
I think this is the bet of the weekend. I really do.
It's a bit of a tactic show.
Villa, they need to win this game, don't they, to get Champions League?
7-5, Will. Can you believe that?
Welcome to Weekend Wager, where every Friday afternoon we use in-depth stats and razor-sharp analysis to unearth the best value bets from the upcoming sporting weekend. I'm Will Pugh, and helping me this week is football journalist Kwaku Afari, and a man much smarter than your mate who nearly won big last weekend. It's Betfair's James Mackey. James, as always, will be judging which of our punts are most on the money and, of course, revealing some hidden value wagers of his own. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and let us know what you think of our bets in the comments. Gentlemen, wonderful to see you again. Kwaku, James has finally deemed himself worthy to come and visit us in the studio. He's shaken off his stag do hangover. It's wonderful to see you in person. James, how's it going?
Yeah, all good. Look, I was sorry about last week, I couldn't make it, but I'm glad I'm here. I had to show my face, even though Chelsea did beat Liverpool, and I thought, do I not come? Do I come?
You expect me to give you a guard of honour?
I was.
Yeah, stand either side of the door into the studio. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, gentlemen, it was a very successful week last week. I had a long overdue winner. Kwaku still in that rich vein of form. We all had one each on the footy. Me and you both bringing in the bacon on the Chelsea-Liverpool game. I backed your beloved Chelsea to win, which you weren't brave enough to do. That was even money for Chelsea to win, so that was a nice one. You had over 3.5 goals in the game at 5-4. Actually, a smidge better value there, so fair play for that one. You had Isaac even to score for Newcastle, and he bagged in that 1-1 draw.
Late though, wasn't it? It was three penalties, and he finally got one in the end.
But gentlemen, one winner each in the football. But James, you had the decider in the IPL. Virat Kohli to be the top run scorer for Royal Challengers Bengaluru against the Chennai Super Kings. They won by just 2 runs, and he smashed it out of the park with 62.
Yeah, it was a great performance. Look, everyone knows Virat Kohli, how special he is. I think he's the leading run scorer in the IPL history. Jacob Bettley had 55 at the top, but look, Virat Kohli does what he does, doesn't he? I think the stats were there to show, and getting 17-10 about it, I just thought it was great value, and luckily it came in.
Yeah, well played, James, showing your expertise there. Gentlemen, exciting show coming up. And as always, let us know if you had any winners in the comments and, of course, what you think of our wagers in this episode. Gentlemen, Liverpool versus Arsenal at the beginning of the season, in the middle of May, you'd have thought, that's going to be a mouthwatering one. And it is actually first versus second at Anfield, 4:30 on Sunday. But for almost everyone, no one really cares. There's next to nothing riding on it, is there? Similar to the game at Stamford Bridge last week, James, your beloved Reds host, Liverpool that is, host the London Reds. Arsenal, of course, will be sort of a bit miserable, a bit down after going out the Champions League to PSG in France in the week. And again, obviously the 3-1 defeat at Chelsea for Liverpool. Kwaku, what you got for this one?
Do you know what? When I was looking at this, I could not believe the odds they gave for my bet. Mo Salah to score any time, 7-5. Let's remember that Mo Salah is the top goal scorer in the Premier League. He scored 28 league goals this season. Also leads the league in assists as well. He is by far the best player in the league and the man for the big occasion as well. The stats back it up. Mo Salah scored 11 Premier League goals against Arsenal, only netting more against Manchester United, 13 goals, and Tottenham, 12 goals. So, you know Mo Salah, when it's a big occasion, especially off the back of last week where it was a bit disappointing, you know he's going to turn up for Liverpool. It's 7-5, Will. Can you believe that? That's absolutely ridiculous, no?
Those odds are outstanding. And to be honest, Kwaku, you know I've been giving you a bit of a ribbon the last few weeks for your sort of safe approach to betting, as you've adopted.
Winning approach.
Well, that is quite the thing. I'm not really in such a strong position to give you a bit of a ribbon, and 7-5 on Salah to score.
Got one more stat for you as well.
All right, go on.
No players scored more Premier League home goals this season than Mo Salah with 12. He's tied with Johan Visa, who's having a great season, Alexander Isak again, who's having a great season. So, like I said, stats back up, 75, no-brainer.
Yeah, decent. That might be one to get onto the traders, I think, there, James. Feels like they might have made a small error. Listen, I was racking my brains about this game, and it's so hard to call, isn't it, because of what we've spoke about with not loads riding on it. Obviously, a little bit of pride. Arsenal will be sort of mentally deflated. So, If I had to pick, I'd say maybe Liverpool, a big party atmosphere, as there will be at Anfield. But I just couldn't pick a winner. So I've gone draw 15-8. I know it's not very adventurous, but I just couldn't see anything anywhere else result-wise. So Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 14 home games against Arsenal in all competitions. Won 7 and drawn 7 since a 2-0 defeat in the Premier League in September 2012. So then in my head, I'm like, all right, well, that tells me Arsenal probably aren't going to win. Arsenal, though, are unbeaten in their last 5 Premier League games against Liverpool with 2 wins and 3 draws, which is their longest run without defeat against Liverpool since a run of 8 between October 07 and April 2011. This is also the 3rd time that Arsenal are facing the Premier League champions in a season once the title's already been confirmed. And the last 2 was a 1-1 draw with Man United in 2012-13 and actually beat Liverpool in 2019-20. So a couple of little tidbits that suggest one or the other team might win there. But the overwhelming data would suggest a draw. James, what do you think of those? So I've gone draw 15-8. Kwaku has gone Mo Salah to score any time at 7-5. What's the best bet there? What have you got for us?
Look, the draw is definitely on the cards here because you've got the hangover from PSG for Arsenal, but also, yes, we'll want to come out, but we've won the title. What do we need to play for now? That's the problem you've got with Liverpool, but 7-5 about Mohamed Salah. That is an absolute gift from the gods, that is, isn't it? Look, he's been unbelievable all season. Without him, we wouldn't have won the league and be where we are. So I'll have to go with you, Kwaku here. The 7-5 was just too good to pass up. I do like the draw, though.
You could whack them in a bet builder, to be fair.
You could. Yeah. You definitely could do, yeah. For myself, I've looked down at what a seriously special player, Virgil van Dijk. And he scored 2 in his last 4. So when you look at stuff like that, you've got to think, right, can he keep going? Can he keep going? He's just an absolute menace off corners. And another stat to back up this bet is it's Virgil van Dijk to have 2+ shots in the game at 12-5. It was 4-9 for just 1. 12-5 for 2. I thought,
You haven't
wow.
told us what your bet is yet.
2+ shots for Virgil van Dijk.
What's the odds?
12-5.
12-5.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just think I looked at it and from 4-9 to 12-5, I thought, right, we're going to have a serious look. Then we go into the stats and have a look. Like I said, he scored 2 in his last 4, but he's had 2+ shots in 3 of those 4 games. So the stats are there. He's been doing it already. Another thing I was looking at here as well is that Arsenal conceded 39% of their goals in the Premier League this season from set-piece situations. That's the most from any side in the Premier League.
Oh, so set-piece specialist Nicolas Hover. They've got a mural of it, for God's sake. He doesn't mind it when they're attacking and scoring, does he? When they're defending, he's nowhere to be seen in the dugout.
Yeah, honestly, that was funny last night when you watch him on the side doing all this and then Partey's throwing it in. But yeah, look, the stats back it up. You're getting 12-5 about Van Dijk. He's going to go up for every corner. He's doing it already. He scored 2 in his last 4, and we know Arsenal like to concede. Well, definitely shots, if not goals, from set pieces. Also, it's the main man's 300th Premier League game on Sunday. So, look, what a better way than going give me the 12-5 2+ shots. So that's the hidden value for me there.
Yeah, and obviously recently we had the Ezri Konsa, didn't we? I think that was a Rosbottom backing for the 2nd time this season. That come in. The old defenders shot market, there is a bit of value in there. Yeah. Obviously there are those games where they get nowhere near it, but I like your thinking.
Just one thing I want to mention with that, obviously we have at Betfair our product build-ups, and this is one thing you can definitely use. When you're looking at the price for centre-halves, you could pit this against Martinelli, Saka for shots. If he's getting 2+ shots and we shut off Martinelli on that left-hand side, you're getting seriously good odds to pit player against player and have a look through that. And obviously the odds will be live on Sunday for that. With that as well, you can put these into the bet builders like we've talked about. We've got safe sub now with Betfair. So if Van Dijk went off and he's only had 1 shot, but someone comes on for him and goes up top and we need a goal, let's say Jota comes on, Jota replaces that, and if he got the shot, the bet would be a winner. So safe subs really want to have a look at this weekend and across the Premier League till the end of the season. Yeah, nice one, James. As always, if you're having a bet this weekend, please play responsibly and take time to think. Visit BigGambleAware.org. Told you I was right. Gentlemen, this game has got absolutely loads riding on it. Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. 8th plays 7th, Saturday night, 5:30 kickoff at the Vitality Stadium. Really is one for the purists. I mean, there's loads riding on it, like I say, both going for European football and both coming off the back
of excellent wins. Aston Villa just got the job done at home to Fulham 1-0 last week, while Bournemouth, of course, going to the Emirates and getting that win. The context being they had the second leg of the semi-final against PSG coming up, so you can kind of give Arsenal a little bit of a break there. But this will be a proper thriller, and it will mean the world to both sets of fans, Quaker, and given the state of the Premier League, it's kind of the only jeopardy we've got left.
Yeah, both teams chasing places in Europe. Obviously, Bournemouth have fallen off a little bit, so they're looking for a place in the Europa League, where Villa have still got an outside chance of qualifying for the Champions League, finishing in those top 5 places. But I do think it'll be the Villa shot-stopper that'll be the busy man this weekend. Amy Martinez, 5 or more saves, 11-4. And the stats back this up as well. Bournemouth have had more shots following a high turnover than any other side in the Premier League this season, with 65. Their 65 shots and 8 goals from high turnovers this season are the most of any of their top 5 campaigns, which is 8 campaigns, which suggests that high press from Iraola, the fact that Bournemouth are up and at them, it converts into chances. And I think that Emi Martinez, like I say, will be a very busy man. And only Mo Salah with 121 and Cole Palmer with 120 shots have had more shots than Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo, who's had 118 this season. So it suggests that Bournemouth do create chances. They don't always take them, but the fact that there's a world-class shot stopper and Amy Martinez in goal for Aston Villa, and Bournemouth will have a lot of shots. I think Amy Martinez, 5 or more saves, 11-4. I like it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, that, mate.
Yeah?
I quite like those ones where we think out the box a little bit and look at the individual players. I think Dino, while I was away on holiday, had some success with the save bets as well, so I don't hate it too much. The only thing is, what on earth is a high turnover?
It's when you're testing me here. It's a tactic show. It's when you're pressing high, you win the ball high up, and you convert that into a chance, whether it's a shot or whatever.
Fair enough.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that.
Perhaps I'll ask Dino after the show. Listen, Quaku, I like that. I've gone for a bit of a different one for me here. I'm gone draw at half-time, Bournemouth winning at full-time at 11-2. Now, I know the bet, as you hear it, doesn't sound like an absolute banker, to be fair, but 11-2, just like 5.5 to 1 there, I quite like the value in it. And this is the reason why. I'm a man who puts a lot of store in the numbers, of course. Bournemouth have scored more goals in second half stoppage time than any other team in the Premier League this season, while only Southampton, on 10, have conceded more than Aston Villa have in that time. Villa have conceded 8 in second half stoppage time. Bournemouth have scored 8 in second half stoppage time, so they've got the stamina. They can go deep into games. Bournemouth lost 1-0 at home to Aston Villa in their first ever Premier League match in August 2015. But since then, the Cherries are unbeaten in 3 at home to Villa, scoring exactly 2 goals in each of those games. That's 2 victories and 1 draw. So they've got a good record against them. They got used to playing them. And Bournemouth have won 7 of their 13 Premier League games against teams starting the day above them in the table this season. They've drawn 3 and lost 3 of the other ones that they didn't win, which is the highest win rate of any side to play more than one such game this term. So more than half of their games they've played against teams above them in the league at time of kickoff, they have come out victorious. So I did really like that. I do give Bournemouth a chance. I think they're getting a bit underrated this season.
You've gone digging there with the stats, mate. I like
exactly, yeah. There's I quite like both of them, to be fair. A bit of a difficult one for you here, James. So Emi Martinez, 5 or more saves from Quaker, 11-4, or draw half-time, Bournemouth at full-time, 11-2 from me.
Yeah, but like you said, when you find an angle into games like this, and both of you have with different kinds of bets, I like them both, and I like the stats that back it up. But Will, I'm going to go with you here. And the reason why is I just think making 5 saves is difficult. When you go past 3, 4, 5 just might slightly be too much. But I can see the case for it with Semenyo and how brilliant they've been this season. But I don't think Bournemouth are getting enough credit for what they did to Arsenal. Arsenal played pretty much a full strength side. I think there was 2 changes in that game. And look, they were 1-0 down and they just came back and they were absolutely brilliant. They've got the long throw in, haven't they? They've got the lot, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be cagey. Villa, they need to win this game, don't they, to get Champions League. But Iraola, what a job he's done with a side that you would not expect to be where they are, challenging for Europe. So yeah, draw half-time and Bournemouth to win full-time at 11-2. You're getting a great price about it.
What
really
have you
like
got
that.
for us then, mate?
So, yeah, look, I think this is the bet of the weekend. I really do. Looking through, and I'm getting... When you're getting odds against about...
If you say so yourself, honestly. Yeah.
When you're getting odds against about top strikers in the Premier League, either scoring or assisting, you've got to have a look and take advantage. And Ollie Watkins is the man that I'm looking at here. Ollie Watkins to score or assist at 11-10. Ollie Watkins has been directly involved in 5 goals in his 4 Premier League starts. against Bournemouth. 1 goal, 4 assists. He's 4 assists against the Cherries, the most against any opponent he's got. Absolutely superb. And like I said, when you're looking, not even just to score, to assist as well, and you get an 11 to 10 about their talisman up top who's bagged all season, I think it's a brilliant bet.
Yeah, it was your same sort of premise that you used for Isak last week, and that came in, to be fair.
Exactly.
So, who are we to argue with the oracle of James Backey? That's why Rosbottom hasn't been back for a couple of weeks.
Can't change a winning side, can you?
Exactly, yeah, that's what he keeps saying. Look, let us know what you think of our Premier League bets in the comments, and of course, if you're having any wagers of your own.
Told you I was right.
Gentlemen, you know what time of the week it is. For the punters up and down the country, fancy a bet on something other than football, and we go to Ascot.
Yeah, it's a quality weekend because you've got a bit for everyone. There's still jumps racing at Haydock with a mixed card on the flat, the Swinton Hurdle. There's going to be a cracking race. You've got the Derby and Oaks trial at Lingfield. It hasn't got the most runners in the field, but you get to see what's going to happen before June at Epsom for the Derby and the Oaks. But gone to Ascot because it's got the 19 runner Victoria Cup, and look, you're looking at me going, 19 runners, you've got to go and find the winner. Well, I think I have. I really do.
He's coming in with swagger this week, isn't he?
It's Kirat at the top of the market at 5 to 1. This horse for Rafe Beckett, Ross Orion's one of the best jockeys I think around at the moment. He's doing the steering. This horse has got some proven form already at Ascot in an 18 runner handicap. But what I like from this horse is I think we've got a group horse in a handicap here. So you see horses that run in against lesser horses, they've got a bigger weight, then going to go on to deeper waters later on in the season. It's his first run of the season. He's racing off a mark of 99. He's won off a mark of 92. He's finished second last twice off marks of 97 and 98. Back at Ascot on the straight where he's already done it, finished second in a really good handicap. I think at 5 to 1 off what, £5 or £6 higher. I think he's going to go on to deeper waters, and I think 5 to 1, I think he's got a cracking chance in this handicap, Kieran.
Yeah, fair enough. So look, anyone listening, James, who's thinking, what does he mean when he talks about those mark numbers? Anyone listening or watching, in fact? But, yeah, just talk to us about that.
So this is a handicap. So this is basically the better horses will be marked higher, so they get a mark, and then the lower horses will be marked lower. Let's say, and that's when. So say this is a Kirat off a mark of 99, he'll be off like 9 stone 2, 9 stone 3. If there's a horse in here who's off 80 rated, he'll be off like 8 stone and a bit lower. So it's
that's the weight of the jockey.
It's the weight of the jockey, and it's basically to even it out to make sure it's fair. And in these handicaps, this is what you have to do, because if you just put the best horses off the same weight, what's going to happen? They're normally going to go and win. So it's to make it fairer. But still, when you're looking, I think this horse is better than his marker 99. So I still think he's got £5, £10 probably in hand. So I think group horse in a handicap for that reason.
Told you I was right.
Yeah, nice one, James. Well, look, that is it for this week's episode of Weekend Wager. Make sure you give this video a like. Let us know what you think of our bets in the comments. And, of course, subscribe to Sunsport's YouTube channel to make sure you never miss an episode. Follow Sunsport and Sun Football on socials for all your latest clips and news, and we'll see you back here next week. As always, if you're having a bet this weekend, please play responsibly and take time to think. Visit begambleaware.org.